In today's video, I'm going to be giving you one tip for every rank in Rainbow Six Siege. This is based off my personal experience and seeing the success and failure of other players who have been in many different ranks over the years, and what has actually worked for them when I've helped them out. And make sure to stick around and watch all of the different tips at every rank, because no matter what rank you're in, they are still going to help you out either now or in the future. And if you end up having any questions, I do stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 PM BST. There's a link down below. First of all, we're going to be starting off with Copper. If you are in Copper, the main thing that you lack is experience. You are most likely going to be a new player to the game, therefore you just need to get more experience, more hours and more games under your belt. You can in Copper solo queue and climb your way out of that rank if you are good enough. Now I understand that some of you might have played this game for quite a long time, yet you are still stuck in Copper. My advice to you is actually focus on improving instead of just playing the game. A lot of you will just be playing ranked and you expect to improve when, quite frankly, you're not going into T-Hunt, you're not going into aim trainers, you're not going into custom games to work on yourself and looking at what you can improve on. As I know, everyone in Copper isn't exactly always a new player. Therefore, if you are struggling with that, you should be able to solo queue your way out of it if you're good enough. If you can't, well, then you know what you need to work on. Focus on your mechanics, focus on your mentality and game sense. If you are a newer player, get more games under your belt and start playing. Switch to unranked and keep on playing unranked. Casual is practically useless for improving. Stick to unranked. Next up is going to be for bronze. If you are in the rank of bronze, you need to cut out the excuses and start taking more accountability. If you aren't in Copper yet you are in bronze, realistically you probably know the game a little bit. You aren't completely clueless and have a general idea of what to do. While you might not be up there with other players in terms of skill level, you know how the game works. Which is why you need to start taking more accountability. It's not because of your teammates, it's not because of the game, it is because of you. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Your teammates aren't going to help you to get out of bronze. That's just not going to happen. You actually need to start improving and putting in the work. You can't play ranked over and over again and expect to improve with the same results. That's just called going insane. And if you aren't insane, you will have subscribed to MatchPoint for tips and tricks for Siege, just like Dokkaebi has. Start focusing more on improving. You need to have a warm-up routine with your T-Hunt in there, and you need to be looking at what you do wrong. And it probably is sitting in front of you of what you're actually doing wrong and where you are going wrong in Siege. However, you're just not realizing it because you go instantly to blame your teammates, blame the game, or another excuse that is out of your control. I understand that the teammates you have in bronze aren't going to be great. However, what can you do about it? Absolutely nothing. You can sit there and complain about your teammates all day, but the fact is, you're still going to be stuck in bronze, so take this advice, start improving, start putting in the work, and look at the areas that you need to work on in Siege to eliminate any weaknesses. Next up is in fact going to be silver. Hopefully by now, if you have taken on all the tips from the other ranks, you will know that you've got to do the work, you've got to improve, and by now you're starting to recognize a few weaknesses and are beginning to improve. A lot of players are around the silver level. And now, there are 3 core pillars in Siege that you need to focus on, especially when you're in silver. This is what's going to help you to progress further and get out of it. You need to focus on game sense, mentality, and mechanics. Your game sense is your general knowledge of the map, the game itself, what strategies work and don't, the different maps, what you should be doing on them, and that is going to be applied to that. Your mechanics, on the other hand, are going to purely come down to your aim and your reaction time. It can be anything from your general aiming to your leaning, to your reaction time, to your crosshair placement. Whatever it is going to be mechanics. And your mentality is about your ability to turn a negative situation into a positive one. Mentality gets built up over time. Your mentality is going to help you to stop raging at the game. It's going to allow you to no longer have an ego so that you can cut the excuses out of blaming your teammates and focus on yourself. When you're 3-0 down, you're not the one there looking for excuses or just giving up. You're there looking for a different strategy that you can use to counter your team based on their previous experience. It's also really going to help with your IGL, your in-game leading, potentially in the future for a 5-stack. You're going to be that one member in that team that is going to have a positive mindset. And your mentality is a big difference of what separates players from failing and actually winning in Siege. You may think it's not that useful and just all aim no brain, but your mentality is actually a massive factor of Siege. Next up is going to be for the rank gold. A good player can definitely solo queue themselves up to gold, and well done if you have that. Anything above that is quite frankly insane, and well done to you. You understand the game very, very well, you've locked down many different concepts, and you are beginning to improve significantly every single day because you now know what to do. You've locked down the 3 pillars of Siege, and you can really focus on improving. However, this is when you come across a little bit of a path, and you've got to decide which route you're going to take in Siege to get to the next level. You've got 2 options here. You go full on solo queue, or you find a 5-stack and play with them. Now, the reason why this is so important at gold is because you can't be lurking around the different areas. You can't be some days solo queuing, some days playing in a 5-stack, or even just lingering around. You can't really be finding a 5-stack whilst also solo queuing. You've got to find a routine. Pick which one it's going to be and fully commit to it. If you are going to be looking for a 5-stack, a great place to find one is our Discord, and there is a link down below in the description to it. There's a wonderful amount of people in there looking to find teammates. Having a 5-stack is easily going to allow you to progress for the next level because a lot of the teams in those ranks will end up having them. So either go searching for a team, really hard looking for it, and you want to be looking in every single area to find one, commit to it. Or if you prefer playing on your own or don't really want to find a team and would rather just play the game on your own, go for solo queuing. The reason why it is so important here to find out and fully commit to what you're going to, because if you end up solo queuing, you have to fully commit to it. You are going to be in the solo queue trenches. It is not going to be a fun place to be, especially when trying to solo queue to plat and above. It is going to be a very tough time, which is why you need to fully commit to it. If you end up fully committing to it, like I said, you will end up having no backup plan, which means you are going to focus on solo queuing, blocking out your teammates, and focusing on winning those games, improving in every single aspect you can to give yourself the biggest advantage. The next tip is going to be for platinum. If you are in this rank, the best advice I can give you is to focus on strategies and actually winning the game. You can get to plat purely based on your mechanics quite strongly. However, to get to the next level, you are going to need to apply a lot of strategy. If you're in a 5-stack or solo queuing, start learning strategies you can pull off for your team, whether it's pocket strategies, default strategies, whatever it is, you need to lock that area down. So start applying the strategies and focusing on the wins. The wins are going to help you progress to the next level. Don't be too aggressive, play for that win and let time be on your side. Now next up for Diamond and Champion, these are going to be included in both of them. You've pretty much mastered the game at this point and you have all the tools that you need in order to get to the next level. You've dominated ranked and you're pretty much at the top. And let's face it here, you already know what you need to improve on if you've applied the skills that I've taught you in the past. And the next step here is figuring what you actually want to do further. You could look to delve into just playing the game casually and keep on ranking up and having fun in the rank. Or instead, you could look at becoming a competitive player. At that level, you can definitely reach into the competitive scene. It generally will start around about the platinum level. That's when teams will start to look at you. We aren't necessarily talking about Pro League here, but if you're looking for a competitive team who is looking to go into competitive, platinum is kind of the rank that you're going to need to at least have. And Diamond or Champion absolutely suits that build. You know what you need to do? It's just where do you go with it? If you do want one tip for every single defender to improve at Siege, there will be a card in the top right, and that video was going to help you out on defense. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video if it did help you out. A massive thank you to the patrons as well. If you want to become one, there's a link down below in the description. I'll see you in the next one.